Hello and welcome to your June 15th daily briefing. Let's talk about the next stimulus check, the new potential $2 trillion stimulus bill, and we'll touch on $600 PUA unemployment as well. So starting off with the new stimulus bill, just this morning there was talk of this new $2 trillion stimulus package. White House trade advisor Peter Navarro said that this has been brought up as Democrats and Republicans negotiate what should be included in the next bill and what the bill should look like. So I'm going to break this down piece by piece. And first, I want to comment on this. I find it very surprising that a $2 trillion number is even being floated around. Yes, that is the midpoint between what we've been hearing with the HEROES Act, which amounted at just over $3 trillion, and then some Republican comments landing their proposal estimates to be around $1 trillion. However, it hasn't seemed like we need that large of a bill anymore. It seemed like that $1 trillion number will just about do the trick for most of the issues that need funding right now. The idea is to increase this bill to $2 trillion to help support American manufacturing and American manufacturing employment. I think it's great to support American manufacturing. I mean, this pandemic has shown that there are some glaring issues with supply chains for many large companies and far too heavy of a reliance on China for manufacturing. China closed up and it effectively stopped production lines for most large American corporations. However, subsidies aside, I'm not sure how we can compete with the cost effectiveness of manufacturing in China. I'd be willing to bet that there isn't a corporation in the United States that, given the choice of manufacturing in the US or China, everything else being equal, price, quality, everything, they would choose the US every single time. This just goes to show that there are major reasons that most companies go over to other countries to get this kind of thing done. I'm just saying that there would have to be some heavy incentives to get things to be equal to promote more manufacturing here. But subsidies and incentives are just like treating the symptoms and not the root cause, and in the long run, efficiency is going to win. So I'd be really interested to see what exactly this bill would include to help promote more manufacturing. Further on this point, only about half of the first stimulus bills have actually been spent. So there's money still there to be utilized, especially in the business sector. Only about 5% of the Main Street Lending Program funding has actually been spent, leaving more than $400 billion just sitting there ready to be deployed. So why not repurpose some of those funds and put them towards manufacturing and then focus this next bill on more pertinent issues? The most important issues right now seem to be, should we have another stimulus check, and what should we do about pandemic unemployment insurance, that $600 per week additional unemployment payment? So why not solve those two issues first, and then go back to manufacturing and work on that problem, or just reallocate some funding to help support manufacturing? And yes, again, promoting manufacturing will eventually create more jobs, but there are millions of people who need to pay rent this month. And focusing on manufacturing, is definitely will help us, but that's probably more like 6 months to 2 years down the road. Either way, we don't have a ton of details as to what a manufacturing stimulus would include, and as wonderful as I think it would be to get more manufacturing in the United States, I just think solve the biggest issues first and then focus on the rest. They're all important issues, but just solve the most important ones first, maybe before your vacation. I don't know, just an idea. As far as a stimulus check goes, I think the odds are more in favor than not to see another one. Just looking at the comments on it so far, the Treasury has said that they're seriously considering it. The White House is seriously considering it. The Republican Party is seriously considering it. And the Democratic majority has already voted one in through the HEROES Act. They voted in a $1,200 payment that was pretty similar to the first $1,200 payment that we saw. Plus, it's a huge political topic and will result in major brownie points for Election Day and for those who help push that bill through. And it's not even expensive compared to many other stimulus plans. That is, if it's another $1,200 payment just one time, we're looking at around $300 billion for something like that, when many of the other proposals are multiples larger than that. As far as unemployment goes, things are still pretty up in the air. National Economic Council Director Larry Kudlow commented on this program yesterday, again saying mostly that the $600 per week plan creates a disincentive to work, which is what we've been hearing day in and day out. Kudlow believes that the additional payments are no longer needed as businesses reopen and unemployment rates decrease. I mean, the amount of claims are decreasing, but unemployment doesn't, the total percentage doesn't seem to be changing a whole lot. I think it is moving in a positive direction, but I still think that things are not in a good situation. He said they are looking at other incentives and ways to both help out the unemployed while simultaneously promoting people to get back to work. Nothing is set in stone on this yet. However, I would be very surprised to see a continuation of the current $600 a week, and I would be equally surprised if they cut off $600 a week and didn't put something else in place. I just don't see Democratic members or many Republican members agreeing to zero additional support, just cutting off that $600 life support. Like most things in life, some kind of middle ground is usually the best route, and that's probably what we'll see, some kind of incentive fused with a smaller per week additional amount. Plus, state unemployment is still a thing, so people will still receive that no matter what. So that's all I have for today's short, sweet daily briefing. If you made it to this point in the video, click that darn like and subscribe button if you haven't already. Make an account with Webull with my link in the description. Tell a friend, yell out your window, do whatever you gotta do. Until next time, I'd like to thank you for watching, and I hope you have a profitable day.